Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay, and I'm so glad that you have some time to hang out with me on today's English lesson, where I have the opportunity to help you with your English comprehension, vocabulary, and fluency. Now, I must say that I normally record on another piece of software, and actually, I was going to record today's lesson outside. I updated my computer, and now my software doesn't work. So I had to try something different. I hope you can see me and hear me well and enjoy today's lesson. Welcome to all of my new subscribers and first time viewers. We're going to have a great time on today's lesson. Before we get into it, let me ask you, has that ever happened to you? Have you ever updated your phone or your computer and before you know it, for whatever reason, it did not work? It broke down. And so that's what happened to me. So here we are, but I'm glad to be able to give you another English lesson. On today's lesson, I am going to help you improve your English with a read and repeat lesson. I try to make stories that are humorous and engaging, as well as give you subjects that you can learn from. So I hope you're ready to dive in today's lesson and have a little bit of learning and laughter. Now, let me say what I am going to do is I'm going to read through today's lesson line by line or sentence by sentence. I'll explain some of the vocabulary words, some of the phrases, and then I'll try to read through it again at the end for you, completely nonstop. And then I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go back and probably try to talk about the story and pull out some things that are important as it pertains to learning English. Okay. Now, if you did not know, I do have a podcast, and you can listen to that podcast and get more English lessons while you're at work, in your car, with your family. That link is also down in the comments section. Okay, let's dive into today's lesson. The first sentence: Gary was out in his yard, ready to mow the lawn. Let's read and repeat. Gary was out in his yard, ready to mow the lawn. Excellent. Now, I failed to mention, for those who may not know, today's story is also down in the description of today's lesson, so you can follow along and practice at a later time if you so desire. So, when it comes to mowing the lawn, mow, or mowing, or I mowed. When we talk about mowing the lawn, we're talking about cutting the grass. Okay, so here in this part of the United States, we grow grass. And some of you may say, of course, everybody grows grass. No, there are some parts of this country where it's so hot they don't have grass. They have gravel and dirt in their yard. So Mexico, Arizona, and of course there's parts of those states that have grass, but when you go through different neighborhoods and communities, you will see that having grass is not something that is normal. Now, in this country, when we mow the lawn, we use a lawnmower. And there are pretty much two types of lawn mowers. There's what we call a push mower. So a push mower is a lawnmower that you get behind and you have to push it. You push it up the hill, you push it down the hill, you push it around trees. It's a lot of work. Okay. Or you can use a riding lawnmower. And of course, a riding lawnmower is a mower that you get onto, you sit like I am in this chair, and you can drive around the lawn and cut it at the same time. So a push mower or a lawn mower. And it's very nice to keep your yard cut. That's what we say, or keep your lawn mowed. Okay. Let's go to the next sentence. As he started cutting the grass, he hit a rock hidden in the grass, and the lawnmower stopped working with a loud bang. Let's read and repeat. As he started cutting the grass. Sometimes we say cutting and it sounds like the G is silent. So to properly say it, you would say cutting or just say cutting. He hit a rock hidden in the grass, and the lawnmower stopped working with a loud bang. Bang. Okay. Now, I enjoy compound words. A compound word is a word that has two words that make up one word. So, can you find the compound word in this sentence? Lawnmower. That's right, lawnmower. He started cutting the grass and he hit a rock hidden in the grass. That will destroy a lawnmower. That will totally destroy a lawnmower. It will bend the blades. It could damage the, what do you call that under the lawnmower? You could damage the, not only the blades, but you have to change out. Oh, it's a rubber. I can't even think of it. But the band that keeps the lawnmower blade turning. Okay, it can destroy those because it's made out of rubber. Okay, and whenever you hear a bang, it could be from a rock, it could be from a stick, it could be from a piece of debris. And lawnmowers, let me tell you, they are expensive. A push lawnmower in this country costs maybe around $250. If you get a commercial lawnmower, it will cost you about $1,400 or more. A riding lawnmower will cost you about $1,500 brand new. And a commercial grade or a very sturdy one that businesses use when they mow lawns, it could cost you nine to $30,000, 9,000 to upwards of $30,000. It's crazy. Now, one thing I do is I cut grass myself here at my home, and I have some other people that I cut their yards. So you have to watch out when you're cutting grass because those stones can be hard to see when the grass is high. Gary was in a pickle, as he had never repaired a lawnmower before. Let's read and repeat. Gary was in a pickle, as he had never repaired a lawnmower before. So when someone is in a pickle, it It's a phrase or an idiom that we use to describe someone that is having a problem. Okay. They're in a bind. They're in trouble. Uh-oh, I'm in a pickle. So that's how you would use that particular phrase. And again, it describes someone that is having a problem, trouble in their life. Okay. Repaired. So when you repair something, you fix it. Okay. It's damaged. And so now you fix it. He decided to roll up his sleeves and give it a shot. Let's read and repeat. He decided to roll up his sleeves and give it a shot. Now, when a person rolls up their sleeves, now you could literally roll up your sleeves if you're hot. Okay. You have on long sleeves, and if you're hot, you would roll up your sleeves so you can cool off. But roll up your sleeves is an idiom or a phrase that we use to express when a person is about to go to work, okay, or do some hard work. You know, I had to wash 5 cars yesterday. I had to roll up my sleeves for 6 hours. Okay, so I rolled up my sleeves to go to work. Roll up your sleeves. You know, it was difficult painting the house, but we rolled up our sleeves and got the job done. Rolled up our sleeves. Okay. Now, notice this other expression, give it a shot. Okay. Give it a shot. So, when you give something a shot, you're going to attempt it, you're going to try it. Okay. You've never done it before. Remember, Gary never had fixed a lawnmower before. So, I'm going to give it a shot. So, if you speak French and you want to learn how to speak English, you may say, you know what? I'm going to give English a shot and try to learn a new language. Or if you go to a restaurant, you may not eat beef, but you may smell the beef cooking and you say, oh, it smells so good. You know what? I normally don't eat beef, but today I am going to give it a shot. Or you may be sitting down to eat with your family, and your wife or your daughter may say, Daddy, try this. And you say, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. And they say, come on, Dad, give it a shot. Try it. See what it's like. Attempt it. Okay. Give it a shot. First, he tried to fix it with duct tape, but that was like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. First, let's read and repeat. First, he tried to fix it with duct tape, but that was like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Excellent. So, duct tape. First, he tried to fix it with duct tape. So, duct tape is very strong tape, and it's used to try to keep things together. Okay. And so, some people put duct tape on a chair. If the chair is broken, they may try to duct tape it together. Or if there's a hole in the car of the chair, someone may try to put duct tape on it. Or if the window will not stay up, some people try to duct tape the window onto the seal so the window will stay closed. Okay. But if you put duct tape on a lawnmower blade, that's dangerous because the force of the blade spinning, eventually that duct tape is going to come loose and that blade is going to fly somewhere and it's going to cut someone up. So that would be dangerous, Gary. Don't put duct tape on the lawnmower. Now, notice this expression. It's like, or it was like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. So something that is square will not fit in something that is circular. So it's a way of describing that something is difficult. So for instance, this pocket knife and this pen top, the pen, the pocket knife cannot go into the pen top. It's too difficult. It will not work. It will not fit. Whereas if you take the pen and place it, that's easy. This is difficult. Okay. So trying to fit a square in a round hole describes something that is difficult. It's hard. So remember, Gary had never fixed a lawnmower before. So this was difficult or hard. Next, he attempted to use a hammer, but that just made things worse. It was like adding fuel to the fire. Okay, let's read and repeat. Next, he attempted to use a hammer, but that just made things worse. It was like adding fuel to the hammer, or I'm sorry, fuel to the fire. Great. So, like adding fuel to the fire. Think about that. What happens when you add fuel to a fire? When you add fuel to a fire, the fire gets larger, more intense. So, like adding fuel to the fire is a phrase that we use to describe a situation getting worse. You know, my wife was already upset. Then I told her I forgot to pay the bill. That's like adding fuel to the fire. So, first I had a flat tire. Then it rained and I didn't have an umbrella. Then I came home to use my computer and make a lesson for my students, and my software didn't work. Oh, it was like adding fuel to the fire. Okay, so things are getting worse and worse instead of getting better and better. It's like adding fuel to the fire. Gary then thought he could fix it with bubblegum. Gary's not too bright, but that idea was a real flop. Flop. Idea was a real flop. Okay, let's read and repeat. Gary then thought he could fix it with bubblegum, but that idea was a real flop. Excellent. So, where's the compound word? Remember, a compound word is two words that make one word. Where's the compound word in this sentence? Bubblegum. That's it. Bubblegum. So, bubblegum is chewing gum, and you blow bubbles with it. You know, bubblegum. Okay. Who has ever heard of trying to fix a lawnmower with bubble gum? But sometimes we try to fix things in life with things that really aren't going to solve the problem. So that's a great lesson there. If you're going to fix something, go ahead and fix it right. Okay. Finally, after 4 long hours of trial and error, Gary managed to repair the lawnmower using the right tools and parts. Let's read and repeat. Finally, after 4 long hours of trial and error, Gary managed to repair the lawnmower using the right tools and parts. Excellent. So, this is so true. Sometimes when you're trying to fix a lawnmower, you think it's going to take 5 minutes, but it turns around and takes you an hour. That's how it goes. So, trial and error. Trial and error. Trial and error is a phrase that describes that you don't know what you're doing. You're going to try it, mess up. Then you're going to try it again, and then you mess up. You try something else, and then that messes up. Isn't that like learning English? It's by trial and error. Sometimes you say the wrong thing, but then you try it again. Sometimes you pronunciate things wrong, but then you try it again. Okay. It's like being married for the first time. You know certain things, but you're learning as you go. That's another way we say it. I'm learning as I go. I had a lot of trial and error. Okay. I finally figured it out, but it was a lot of trial and error. Okay. That's just so true. It happens in life. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing, but it has to get done. So you try to fix it. You mess it up. Then you have to try to fix it again. Then you mess it up. Then you spend some money again. And then you mess trial and error. Last sentence. He learned that sometimes you have to roll with the punches and not give up, even when things seem tough. So true. Let's read and repeat. He learned that sometimes you have to roll with the punches. Roll with the punches and not give up, even when things seem tough. Excellent. So roll with the punches. Roll with the punches. This is a phrase that means, look, I'm just going to go along with what I have to deal with until I resolve it. I'm going to just persevere, even though it's tough. I just rolled with the punches. My child was giving me a tough time at home, but we just rolled with the punches and they're doing much better now. Okay. Or you may say, my car was really acting up, but I just rolled with the punches and finally it's working better now once I got it fixed. Rolled with the punches. Okay. and not give up even when things seem tough. That's how life is. And that's how English is. I read a comment by one of the subscribers, and they said, look, English is difficult for me. Sometimes I read it or listen to it, and I don't know what I am listening to. So your comprehension is low at this particular point, but you have to roll with the punches. It's tough, but you keep learning until your comprehension increases, and then you'll get better. And so it just takes time to learn something. Oftentimes we describe that as there's a learning curve. Okay. There's going to be some time that you have to adjust and improve. There's a learning curve. All right. Let's read through today's story quickly without stopping. And let's see if you can keep up or read along with me. Gary was out in his yard ready to mow the lawn. As he started cutting the grass, he hit a rock hidden in the grass, and the mower stopped working with a loud bang. Gary was in a pickle as he had never repaired a lawnmower before. He decided to roll his sleeves up and give it a shot. First, he tried to fix it with duct tape, but that was like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Next, he attempted to use a hammer, but that just made things worse. It was like adding fuel to the fire. Gary then thought he could fix it with bubblegum, but that was a real flop. Finally, after 4 long hours of trial and error, Gary managed to repair the lawnmower using the right tools and parts. He learned that sometimes you have to roll with the punches and not give up, even when things seem tough. Okay, now something I want to talk about, some different things in the story. The first one being, what does it mean to be a flop? It's a flop. It's no good. It sucked. So you may say, we went to see the new Marvel movie and it was a flop. It was awful. It was no good. Okay. A flop. Now, there are other words to describe a person that likes to cut grass or work in the yard. We would say that person is a green thumb, or that person has a green thumb. So, a person that has a green thumb is someone who likes to rake leaves, they like to cut grass, they like to be out in the yard, they like to plant flowers. They have a green thumb. Do you have a green thumb? Are you the type of person that likes to be out in the yard? I was talking to someone today when I was cutting grass, and they said that they do not like to cut grass. They would rather pay someone like me to get out there and do it. As a matter of fact, they said that they haven't cut grass since they were a child. And so they did not have a green thumb. Now, some other words that you could practice and research. Some people don't have grass in their yard, they have turf. Turf, TURF, turf. Turf is fake grass. Okay. Some football fields, some soccer fields, instead of playing on grass, they play on turf. So that's another word that could help you to comprehend when you're talking about grass. Okay. Now, another phrase or expression that we use when it comes to being in the yard besides green thumb is dig up dirt. Dig up dirt. So this will be my last example for today. So when you're in the yard, you use a shovel to dig up some dirt to make a hole. That's a yard expression. But you can also use to dig up dirt as a phrase to describe when you want to investigate something or someone. They were looking into my background trying to dig up a little dirt. Okay, trying to find something wrong, or trying to find something bad, trying to find something that uh, could be a problem. They were digging up dirt. So that phrase you can use either way when you're talking about the yard. I need you to go dig up some dirt and plant a tree right there. Or you can say, look, before we hire you, we're going to have to see if we can dig up a little dirt. Okay. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching today's lesson. Looks like we've been together for about 30 minutes. If you have made it to the end of today's lesson, I hope that you have learned something today. And if you have, please consider giving me a like. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. And before we get out of here, let me say I do one-on-one lessons. Okay. I do one-on-one lessons. You can schedule a time with me. Right now, I do 30-minute lessons to where I can sit down with you online and help improve your English. That link is also in the description. Well, with that being said, I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson, and I hope you choose to join me on my next English lesson. My name is Jay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day.